Hi there, everyone. I am here to tell you the story of Clarence. This is my buddy Clarence. He's a super reliable, super dependable dude. You can count on him for just about anything. But Clarence was sad. He didn't get to say his own sound. He's a letter in the alphabet, but he didn't get to say his own sound, so Clarence was bummed out. But then he had an idea. So Clarence rushed over to his friend's house. And his friend happens to be Kind K. And Clarence rushed over to Kind K and he said, oh, Kind K is the type of lady who likes to make cookies and brownies. She's very kind. And Clarence says, "Can I please say your sound, Kind K?" And Kind K says, "Yes, of course, Clarence. Clarence, will you go first for me?" So when you hear the k sound at the beginning of words, it's not usually a K. Usually it's going to be Clarence. Clarence steps in. So Clarence says, "Yes, ma'am, I won't let you down. I will always have your back." So Clarence is so happy, he rushes home. He gets home and he's thinking about all the new words he can say, like cup and climb and coolness. All that at the beginning of a word. Kind K let him go first. But Clarence is kind of bummed. Still. Yeah, he can say Clarence. He can say the beginning in his name, but he really wanted to say another sound. So he had an idea. He thought, what if I could go and ask Swanky S if I could say her sound? Now, Swanky S was very swanky, very sophisticated, and very choosy with who she allows into her circle. So Swanky S, Clarence doesn't know her personally, so he's not sure if he's going to be able to say her sound. He doesn't know if he can even go ask her if he can say her sound. So Clarence wonders, if only somebody could introduce me to Swanky S. And then he has another idea. Clarence has his idea and he rushes over to his friend the Vowel's house. And this is where he meets up with E, I, and Y. And E, I, and Y are so happy to see Clarence because Clarence is a super reliable, super dependable dude. And Clarence is happy to see the Vowels because they're always up to something crazy. And so Clarence comes up and says, "It's so good to see you all." And then he asks, could you introduce me to Swanky S, please? And the Vowels say, uh-oh, uh-oh. We're going backwards. "It's so good to see you all," says Clarence. He says, "Could you please introduce me to Swanky S?" And the Vowels say, "Well, of course, we'll vouch for you. We'll tell Swanky that you're trustworthy. No worries." So E, I, and Y say, "Clarence, yeah, no worries." So E, I, and Y are going to call Swanky. And they're so excited that Clarence is going to join in on the fun. They had to do a spin. And Clarence rushes off back over to Swanky S's house. And he rushes up to her and he says, oh, hi, Swanky. Did you know I was coming?" And Swanky says, "Yes, I knew. I got a call from my good friend the Vowels, E, I, and Y." And Clarence says, "Oh, great! Do you think it would be okay if I made your sound sometimes?" Super reliable, super dependable dude. He just wants another sound to say. But Swanky's not so sure. I mean, she's kind of over here like, can you believe this guy? But Clarence says, "I promise I'll do a good job. I'm super reliable. You can ask anybody." Kind K would vouch for him. E, I, and Y are vouching for him. So Swanky says, I suppose it would be all right for you to say my sound, as long as you have E, I, or Y with you. Okay, she set some rules. And so Clarence says, oh, thank you, Swanky. You won't regret this. And Clarence rushes off back home. Thank you, Swanky. So, friend Clarence, he is our letter C. And sometimes C says k, and sometimes C says s, depending on which vowels are around him. So he can say city, because there's an I next to him. He can say bicycle, because there's a Y next to that first C. That second C is saying k, because it's next to an L. Practice. The first C is saying k, the second C is saying s. And difference, saying s, the swanky sound, because he's next to an E. So, keeping an eye out for Clarence. E, I, or Y helps him say S, and Kind K lets him go first.